talk about confidence today. And one of the things that I absolutely love about confidence is absolutely every single one of you have it. You just may not know how to access it. Okay? And I'm going to show you how to instantly access confidence. Anybody want that? I mean, whether it's a boost of confidence, whether it's the ability to start doing the thing that you've always wanted to do, whether it's to stand up and talk to a room full of people that are sitting in the back of the room, whatever it is that you need to get your confidence forward, you can instantly tap into that. That's what we're going to talk today about, is how to build that unshakable trust in yourself when the world that doubts you. Right? Cool with that? All right. So sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Literally. Just 20 seconds of embarrassing bravery, and I promise you something good will come of it. For you guys that are coming in late, there's plenty of seats up here in the front. And they're all enjoying this. Everybody here, we've been talking about this for a hot second. So this was a quote said by Benjamin Mee, who it's from a movie played by Matt Damon in We Bought a Zoo. This is what he told his kids about how he met the love of his life. And I heard this quote and I went, damn, that's better than any way I've ever talked about confidence in my life. 20 seconds. That's all you need. 20 seconds to do the thing or to start doing the thing. Because we will talk ourselves out of doing anything in less than 20 seconds. How many of you have done that? How many of you have said, man, I really want to go do this? And then what happens? So you go, that's not for me. Who am I to do this? I've never done it before. What happens if I fail? Right? What if somebody sees me being embarrassing? How many of you have said any of these? How many of you said, I can't see it anyways, so I'm not gonna do it, right? Now, full disclosure, I do not have low vision, and I don't necessarily understand some of the struggles that some of you deal with. But I understand what it means and feels like to question myself, to doubt myself, to go, am I good enough to do something? In my lifetime, I have come back from divorce, right? Something I thought was forever. And it wasn't. Guess what? I'm still here. I've come back from bankruptcy. Okay? For a lot of different reasons. And I am still here. I have come back from, gosh, you name it. I failed at being a Marine. I got sent home for boot camp. We're going to talk about that. There are so many times I have failed in my life. I've lost jobs. I've lost businesses. I have lost way more than I have ever succeeded. And every single one of those failures didn't kill me, because I am still here today. And I want every single one of you to know that it doesn't matter how hard your life is, or how hard it's been, or how difficult it is, you have survived 100% of your worst days because you are here today. So, first of all, that's awesome. Talk about the confidence to continue going. You are still here. And is that not absolutely amazing? So let's talk about what you wanted to be when you grew up, right? This, I have a laser pointer, so y'all, this is awesome. That's me. I'm not entirely sure what I was trying to be here. Probably would have been a business professional or a banker. She's failed a couple of times at doing that. But that's what I wanted to be at one point. This is my younger sister. She wanted to be a travel agent. This is like a random person off the internet who wanted to be an astronaut. This one here is Miss Kathy Garza, who pretty much wanted to be a superhero, managed to live up to every expectation there. You've all had ideas on what you wanted to be when you grew up, right? Firefighter, astronaut, doctor, hobo. I mean, we all have aspirations. After I was this, I wanted to be a country music star. Okay? And I learned to play guitar. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm going to do this. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to sing in front of people. And that's good. I was good. And then my dad, who was very well-intentioned, by the way, said, you're never going to make any money doing music. You should think about something that pays better. He had every intention of being helpful. He didn't want me to be a starving musician. He wanted me to succeed in life. He wanted me to do something that I could possibly be good at for the rest of my life. We've all had this moment where what we've wanted to do, whether it was a career or just, sometimes going out on our own, we all wanted to do something, and somebody of authority, well-meaning as though they were, told us to be reasonable. Right? Don't do that. You might get hurt. Don't do that. You might embarrass yourself. Don't do that. You might end up passed out on the floor. So we were told to be reasonable. And then that dream that we had of doing these amazing things, whatever that amazing thing is for you, whatever that thing is that you wanted, we learned, maybe you're not good enough. Maybe you can't. Maybe I'll get hurt. All those things that you've most likely heard in your head. Anybody heard those phrases? Anybody said them to themselves? Said them to anybody else? Have you ever said to your friend, who are you to do that? They're like, yep, no, that'll be awesome. Let me watch you fall flat on your face. I mean, sometimes we think that that's funny. Sometimes we don't, right? Sometimes we're like, no, I genuinely care about you. I don't want you to embarrass yourself. But 20 seconds is all it takes. 20 seconds of embarrassing bravery to start doing the things that you want to do and tap into that confidence. To be the person you want to be. So I was told, be reasonable. I can't be a country music star. Thanks, Dad. I love your support. So I went to the Marine Corps boot camp. I turned 18 in boot camp. That was fun. By the way, if you ever go to the military, don't tell them it's your birthday. So I'm sitting there, for anybody who is not a Marine, or was not a Marine, they have these things called yellow footprints. It's what you first indoctrinates you in the military, Marines. You stand on them and you're like, your whole world changes. They teach you how to do everything from the ground up. I mean everything. They tear you down from what you've learned growing up, because some of us learned some pretty bad habits. Not for any reason other than that's just how our parents knew. Okay, our parents knew how to teach us this, and sometimes we just learned on our own. I don't remember, even when I was raising my kids, to go left foot first, then right foot. You just say, fall forward and catch yourself. And that's how we start walking. And eventually we're like, oh no, I gotta balance and all those types of things. So I didn't know anything other than what I was raised with. So they're tearing us down to build us back up. Why would they do that? They want everybody to look and act as a unit, as a cohesive unit. But they don't just tear you down in the first 2 days or the first week. I was there a month and a half out of a 3-month boot camp, and I got hurt. And I got hurt enough that I got sent home. Now, I had already been torn down for 6 weeks. So, we don't have any young children in here. I felt lower than whale shit, and that is at the bottom of the ocean. That is where I had been torn down to, because nothing I learned growing up was useful in the Marines. They had to teach me literally everything. And that's when I got let go. So I go home, and you want to talk about a pit of despair. This idea that I wasn't even good enough for the Marines. So I took every job I could where all they needed was a body. Because that's all I was. I was a stock person, and I didn't need those lifts. I just climbed in the racks. Why? Because number one, I could, but my life wasn't worth anything. I took random jobs because I didn't think I was better than that. Until one day, maybe, I asked, why do I think this? Why do I think this about myself? Why do I think I'm not worth anything? I didn't have an answer. But I asked myself the next day, why do I think this? I thought, why do I think this? A lot. And I questioned everything I believed about myself, who it was that told me that. Was it true? And what I found out is it's not. Almost everything I thought about myself at that time wasn't true. Sometimes even the good things, when I'm like, yay, I'm really good at this. Nope, I'm not really good at this. But I thought, why do I think this? I thought it so much that I said, you know what? They told me no, and I got hurt sent home. So I went back. Went back to the Marine Corps. Went back to boot camp. And this time I graduated. Yeah. And I became a U.S. Marine. So again, we're here to talk about confidence. So what is confidence? Most people say, I want more of it. I want to feel it. But what is it? The Merriam-Webster's dictionary, for those of you that are under the age of 35, this actually used to be a book that you could open up. And it had definitions of things. The Webster's dictionary defines confidence as full trust, belief in the powers of trustworthiness or reliability of a person or thing. Guess what's not in this definition? Feeling. Emotion. It's because confidence is not a feeling. You cannot feel confident. So when you walk around going, I want to feel confident, there's a reason why you haven't. It is not a feeling, it is a belief. It is a belief that you are going to be just fine no matter what. It is not a belief that you will make it. It's not a belief that you will fail. It's a belief that you will be fine no matter what. So, let's talk about how do we find confidence. In the beginning, I talked about 20 seconds of courage, right? This is step one to confidence. Courage is a decision. Again, it's not a feeling, okay? It is, no matter what the feeling is, I feel afraid. That is a feeling. I feel fear. Courage is the decision to do it anyways. So, when I was in boot camp, we'll talk about that quite a couple of times, by the way. When I was in boot camp, we were going through this course that was aptly named the confidence course, where they said, we're going to find what you are afraid of, and we will put you up against that. Anybody here afraid of things?
I'm good to answer that question.
I'm afraid to raise my hand.
She's afraid of sitting in the front.
I'm afraid of sitting in the front. I'm afraid of being called on by the teacher.
Oh
I learned I was afraid of heights I found this out in the confidence course. We did this thing called the slide for life. If you cannot see what's going on in these pictures, don't worry, I will tell you. You climb up a ladder that is 2.5 stories high. And you stand on a platform that is basically no bigger than the table with which you are sitting at. And it is you and a drill instructor. For those of you that don't know what a drill instructor is, it is the spawn of Satan. And they want to be in your face and yelling at you. And their job is to make you feel confident and get over whatever your fear is. So I'm standing up at the top of this platform, and we have this instruction. The second picture is the top of the platform. There are 3 ropes coming from this platform going down. So the total distance of this rope is probably from the back of the room here to about where the escalators are. About how far that rope goes. The first third, remember I'm 2.5 stories up, the first third is covered by a net. The rest of it is not, it's over water. And we are told to go down face first. So I have to now take this rope and put it right center mass. I've got 1 foot hooked over the top and 1 foot hanging. That's supposed to be my balance. And I am now hand over hand pulling myself forward, looking down.
Oh, hell no. That actually sounds awesome.
Thank you, that was perfect, because that is what I said to the drill instructor. And I went, nope. My drill instructor said there are 2 ways off of this platform. You may not go down the way you came back up. Your 2 choices are the way I showed you or the way I choose. Guess what I did? I put my foot over that rope and we figured out that 20 seconds of courage can get you past fear. Halfway through this rope, guess what I'm supposed to do? I am already shaking, pulling myself forward, and now halfway through, I am supposed to flip over. I'm supposed to take this foot that has been keeping me upright, swing it over, catch the rope with the back of my heel, take my other foot, swing it around on top, and now I'm pulling myself this way down the rest of it. 20 seconds of courage. How many of you have ever, probably not been on the slide for life? It's okay. This third one here, by the way, is people about ready to fall off. That happens a lot. But how many of you have experienced an obstacle where going back, or what you think might be the safe way, isn't an option anymore? So yes, there are times where you cannot go back. There are times where it's actually more dangerous to go back than it is to continue down the path in which you're going. Again, I don't understand the life sometimes that you guys have, but if you're crossing a road and you've made that decision to cross the road, sometimes it is not safe to turn around and go back to the other way, is it? Sometimes you just have to commit. 20 seconds of courage. Courage is not a feeling, it is a decision. I had the decision for the drill instructor to make the choice for me. I chose to be responsible for the choice I made. The one that I knew I had the most control over. But it took 20 seconds of courage to do it. All right, lesson number 2. We all good with lesson number 1? Anybody have a question about lesson number 1? Courage is a decision. Okay? Lesson number 2 about confidence. Confidence is built in the doing, not before it. I have done many, many, many things in my life since pulling myself out of the pit of despair. I learned to fly a plane. I've gone scuba diving. I successfully navigated a divorce, and I think I'm better off for it on the other side. right? Pulled myself out of bankruptcy. I am not have to deal with that anymore. It's in my past. I'm raising 2 beautiful children. You know, one is 17, about to enter into the world. That's a whole different feeling of confidence. One is 12, going on 31. I've done a lot of things in my life. Built businesses, failed businesses, built more businesses. Confidence is in the doing, not before it. Many of you may have seen a graph that's very similar to this. This is called the road to confidence. When we first start, so here's, okay, for those of you that cannot see it clearly, we have a graph. Confidence is our y-axis, and the phase of struggle is our y-axis. This is action. So when we first start, we have this thing called false confidence. How many of you have ever tried to start something new and you're like, I totally am going to do this? This is called false confidence. And then we learn a thing or two about what we're trying to do. And what happens to our confidence? It plummets into the valley of self-doubt. We go, I can't do this. I have to learn it. I'm struggling. It's hard for me. Guess what? Everybody goes through this. LeBron James didn't come out of the womb knowing how to play basketball.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe he talks quite a bit about it. Elon Musk didn't come out of the womb. Well, he came out of the womb being Elon Musk. He just didn't come out being the guy that we know today. Right? Think of somebody that you know who shows and exudes confidence. If you need an example, there's one standing right here. Think of somebody that you know that exudes confidence. Guess what? They weren't always confident. There are very few people in the world who will honestly tell you they've been confident their entire life. And those that have done things that have made them feel not confident. But it's a decision of action. It's in the doing. Because what happens when you're in this valley of self-doubt and you continue to do that thing again and again and again? Now, my music teacher used to tell me that practice makes perfect. Anybody heard that? Wrong. Practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. Okay, how many of you have had to unlearn how to do something? Because you learned it the wrong way the first time, right? But that's part of building trust in yourself. That's part of the experience of building your confidence. We have that false confidence to begin with. We realize we are not as confident as we thought we were, and then every time we do it, again and again, we get better at it, and better at it, and better at it. Until this point, at the very end, where we have unshakable confidence in the doing of the thing. Okay? But if you are confident in your ability to walk, or you are confident in your ability to put on clothes, I'm not talking about matching, because even I don't do that right. But you are confident in the ability to put on clothes, or you are confident in the ability to remember your name, guess what? That didn't happen by accident either. We built confidence in the action of doing the thing. How do we get started? 20 seconds of courage. How do we keep going? Continued action. What do we got next? Lesson 3, self-trust. Anybody remember our definition of confidence? Full trust. Do you trust yourself to do the thing? Or at least to try the thing. This doesn't say, do you trust yourself to succeed? Do you trust yourself to do the thing? Right? How do we build self-trust? We start by keeping our word to ourselves. How many of you have ever said, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to get up and go to the gym in the morning.
I've never said that.
But you don't. For those of you, again, that are over the age of 35, for those of you that are over the age of 35, this is a GE alarm clock. I'm pretty sure every single one of us had one of these. Half of the room can hear this picture.
They put an ad support. It's terrible. That noise. Yes, they do.
But the bad noises are what gets you up in the morning. So you want to turn it off so bad.
It certainly rocks. It rocks you out of whatever dream you're having.
Exactly. It's how I get up at like 5 a.m.
It does. Here's the deal. How many of you have ever hit the snooze button when you told yourself I was going to get up at a certain time?
Like I was getting paid for it.
Right? So I said to myself, I'm going to get up at 7:15 this morning. I didn't get up at 7:15 this morning. Am I keeping my words to myself? Can I believe what I tell myself? If I don't keep the word to myself that I say. How am I supposed to believe that I'm going to be confident in doing whatever this great thing is that I need confidence if I can't even trust the word I say to myself? So, we build self-trust in the action of keeping our words to ourselves. So be careful what you say, right? If you say, I'm just going to go out with my friends, I'm going to have one drink. For anybody that does drink, sometimes that doesn't happen.
But what happens at NOAHCon stays. I'm just saying.
We've heard that before, which is fine. But think about what you're saying to yourself. Every time that you lie, which is what that is, to yourself, you erode your own confidence because you no longer believe the word you're even saying to yourself. I'm going to do this grand thing. I'm going to hop up as a presenter at NOAHCon and give a talk on confidence. How can I do that? How can I trust that I'm going to be able to do that if I can't even get out of bed in the morning? Simple things. Confidence isn't built in jumping out of planes. You can find confidence there, but it's not built there. Confidence is built in the small things that you do throughout your day. And I'm going to show you here very shortly how to tap into the confidence you already have. So the opposite of confidence isn't self-doubt. It's not I doubt myself. It's giving away your power. It's outsourcing it to somebody else. Right? It's saying, I don't have to do this. I don't have to learn it. Somebody else will take care of it. How many of you felt that one? Right? The opposite of confidence is not doubting yourself. It's giving away your power to somebody else. If you're not confident to go walk into that meeting and ask for a raise, you give the power away to the other person to say and decide whether they're even going to have that conversation or not, right? For those of you that work. For those of you that aren't in the workforce yet, right? If you don't trust yourself, you're not confident in yourself to do your studies, somebody else is going to tell you, you don't get to pass this grade. Right? The opposite of confidence is outsourcing your life to other people making decisions for you. And that doesn't matter whether you have albinism or not. Okay? Confidence is a universal thing. Confidence is showing up for yourself. It is not a guaranteed success. It's not. There are plenty of people who have been confident that they were going to be professional basketball players. They made it to the minor leagues, right? They don't make it past college ball. Does that mean they weren't confident in themselves? No. Are they going to be fine afterwards? That's the confidence. They're going to be fine whether they make it or not. This is confidence. It's okay. The part you guys are probably actually here for, now that you've heard me talk about myself quite a bit. How do we tap into confidence? Anybody want to know how to do it in 5 minutes or less? Now, I've said confidence isn't a feeling, haven't I? I've said that a couple of times. So how do we tap into something that's not a feeling? Something that's already there. You embody confidence already. I've given you a couple of very simple ways that you probably have already done. Right? Now I'm going to ask you to think of something that you're confident about. Here in just a moment, okay? We're not going to do this right now. I'm going to ask you then to enter that feeling of confidence. Have you ever had a friend who's telling you about their day and they're telling you, they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm so excited. We went over here, we did this thing, it's really amazing. You look at them and go, just tell your face. Tell your face that this was amazing. You thought to tell your body, God, Mom, I had such a great time today. You don't look it. So how do you look confident? You guys are currently sitting. So let me show you. I'm going to steal a chair. Might I steal your chair, Amy? Since you guys are sitting, we're going to demonstrate some confidence in a chair. Okay? Am I confident yet?
Confident that you're gonna take a good little nap.
I'm confident I'm going to pass out. Am I confident now?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm a jerk. There is a difference. Okay?
That explains a lot.
What about now? Am I confident now as I'm sitting in the chair? For those of you that may not be able to see in the back, because y'all decided to sit in the back. The first time I was basically lounging in the chair like I'm about to pass out. The second time I put my feet on the table. Right now, I don't know, some kind of halfway sitting, halfway laying with my arm over the back of the chair. Is this confident? No. I'm relaxed, but it's not confident. If I sit in a chair like a normal human being, but my head is down, my knees are here, and I'm going, please let this woman not call on me. Dear God, please make sure she doesn't point me out as not being confident. Is that confident? No, it's not. Since we're going to do this exercise and I want you guys to embody this idea of confidence, let's explain what confidence is, because you can model it. For those of you that don't understand what that means, you can act as if, we're going to play pretend for a hot second. You can act as if you are confident and your body will naturally start this thing that we call a feeling, but it's not a feeling. You're going to change what's going on in your mind. So you're going to sit up straight. I want everybody to do this for me. We're going to sit up straight. Your back can be touching the back of the chair. It does not have to be touching the back of the chair. But your feet are going to be firmly planted on the floor. Okay? You can have your hands in your lap. You can have your hands crossed in front of you. But your shoulders are going to be back. Your head is like there is a string, not. Okay? We're not going to wrap it around our neck. That's coming from the top of our head. There's a string that it almost feels like it's pulling you up. When you are sitting confidently, when you're embodying confidence, you will naturally feel your mood change from I'm passively sitting here and listening to I might be ready to do something. Just changing your posture for a hot second. How many of you felt a shift, even just a little one, to going from, okay, I'm listening, to, okay, I'm listening. Okay, did you feel that shift? This is the beginning of confidence. So when I tell you that we're going to find this air of confidence, and I tell you we're going to find this example of you being confident in your life, and that I want you to then enter what it was like to feel confident, I expect to see a change in how you are sitting. Right? I don't expect to see you hiding. I don't expect you to move chairs. Although if you would like to kind of join me at the front of the stage, you can. Up here in the front row, if you would like not to, that's okay. But I expect to see a change in you and how you're sitting. That's how you know you are acting as if. Okay? Because we've all seen the person that you know is acting not as if. Right? We've seen them, they'll walk into a room, maybe they're walking all like this, and they're just displaying, hoping and praying to God you don't see what's underneath, going, I don't really know what I'm doing. We've seen them, right? You can almost pick them out of a crowd, can't you? But you can also tell the people that have confidence, because we've said it, they carry themselves with confidence. Confidence is an embodiment. Again, it's not a feeling. It's how you carry yourself. It's in the way that you believe in yourself. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do, that I'm going to ask you to do when we get ready to do this exercise, is I'm going to have you anchor that feeling. Okay? If you cannot do what I'm about to share, don't worry, it's not wholly difficult, but for some people it might be. You can adjust it. You're going to take your thumb and your ring finger of whichever hand you feel most comfortable with, and you're going to put them together to make a weird okay. Okay? This is how you're going to anchor your confidence. Now, why do we do something like this instead of like a normal pattern of the fingers? Is we do this because you want to intentionally trigger confidence when you need it. Right? If we did something like the actual okay symbol every time, well, not that this is a problem, but every time you said okay, you're going to be like, whoa, I have this weird boost of confidence. Which isn't necessarily a problem. But it's also okay to intentionally trigger it, right? So we don't want to like weirdly trigger this thing and then all of a sudden your body wants to change. Okay? That's also what's going to happen. So you're going to sit in this confident way. You're going to think about this moment that you were confident. You're then going to enter into the feeling. What does it sound like when you were confident? What did you see? What did you feel in your body when you were confident? We're going to do this. Then I'm going to have you anchor it. So then you're going to trigger. You're going to put your fingers in this weird okay thing. Then we're going to shake it off. That's setting the anchor. Okay? And then I'm going to ask you a question. I'm not going to tell you what that question is because I don't want you to think about it. I'm going to ask you a question, which is going to get your body in a completely different state than what we had intentionally put it in. And then I'm going to have you trigger it again. I'm going to say, all we're going to do is just touch your finger in that weird okay, in the same way in which you set the anchor. And your body is going to give you a slight tug in that direction of where you were when you were embodying confidence. Don't fight it. That's your body saying, ooh, you're asking me to be confident right now. Okay? Do we kind of understand what we're doing? There we go. Thank you. Are you guys ready to tap into confidence? All right. Step one, Think of a time when you were confident. This does not have to be a big moment. This could be, I was confident this morning, I remembered my name. Okay? Big moments of confidence, small moments of confidence, doesn't matter. Okay? Does everybody have a moment that they can remember that they were confident? Okay? The bigger the moment of confidence that you have, the bigger a shift you will feel, but it is okay to start small. Okay? So, we have this moment of confidence. If you don't, and you still need more help, come see me afterwards. We'll find a time that you were confident, I promise. Okay? So we're going to take this moment, and now's when I'm going to ask you to do the real work. I want you to go back in time to this moment. So go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to see what you saw in this moment of confidence. Hear what you heard and feel what you felt. Okay? What this is going to mean is it's probably going to change at least something in the way that you're sitting, okay? If you are feeling what you felt in that moment of confidence, maybe your shoulders have sat back just a little bit. Maybe your chest puffs out a little bit, right? Maybe you're breathing a little bit deeper than you were before. I want you to be physically in this moment of confidence, okay? For those of you, if it was, I remembered my name this morning, or something like that, it's still, there's an element of pride that comes with that, because you were confident, okay? All of these things. When you are in that moment, keep your eyes closed and set your trigger, okay? When you are in this moment where you feel confident, you're going to put your thumb and your ring finger together, the way we practiced, and you're going to hold it there. You're going to stay in this moment of confidence. You're going to set this trigger. Okay? All right, we've done it enough. Go ahead and open up your eyes. Shake your hand. Shake your body. And I want everybody to say, all out loud, all at the same time, what you had for breakfast this morning. Now, I didn't want you to think about it, because I didn't want you to go, man, what did I have for breakfast this morning? Right? The goal is to just get you out of that intentional moment of being confident. Right? And now with your eyes open, not intentionally trying, we're going to trigger that trigger that you just set. What you might feel is a small pull in a direction. Maybe it's you sitting up a little bit higher. Maybe your breath slows a little bit. Does anybody feel even the smallest of feeling when you trigger this? Yes? No?
Yes.
It's okay for it to be no. Yes? We've got a couple of yeses. So you're feeling it pulling you in that direction. That is tapping into the confidence that you have naturally in your body. Now, is this a permanent anchor? Is this going to permanently stay here so that in like 6.5 weeks when you're like, oh shit, what did that woman tell me about confidence? It's probably not going to be there. This is a temporary access. Because like anything else, if it is not used, it's lost. So I'm going to know who's been in this class, this session. Y'all are going to walk by me and go, oh, I've got my confidence. Right? Every time you trigger it, the more you trigger it, the more you will have instant access to confidence. Pretty cool, huh? The more you will have that boost to get you the 20 seconds of insane courage to do the thing you want to do. Okay? Now, everybody's like, well, but I don't know how much confidence I got now. What about the confidence that I built in a year when I've done something different? You can add to You can do this exercise over and over and over again and stack experiences. The point is using the same pressure as you did every time. Use the same pressure to set it, use the same pressure to trigger it. You can stack experiences of confidence. The more confident you are, guess what? You then get to be so confident you can give a talk about confidence, and you're like, yeah, we got this. So, useful?
Yes.
Now everybody's gonna be like, oh man, there are sometimes I just don't have access to whatever hand I want, or I want to teach it to my kids, or I want to teach it to somebody else, right? You guys know or remember, I'll say this, you guys have a memory. If I say, and I totally kicked that. If I say apple pie, how many of you guys' mouths started watering? How many of you guys got like transported back, possibly to grandma's house? You can smell it too, can't you? Bet you if you saw an apple pie, that all of that would come back. I ask this because, guess what? It's triggering, that's a trigger. Apple pie. For some of you, maybe apple pie is disgusting and you're like, bleh. Either way, still trigger. Right? So if you're gonna teach this to your kids, and they have a favorite stuffy, guess what they have triggered in that stuffy? The confidence. They have love. They have secureness. This feeling that everything's going to be okay. Guess what that is, ladies and gentlemen? That's confidence. It's confidence triggered in the stuffy. Maybe you have a favorite jacket that you put on because you're like, I look real good in this jacket. Guess what? That's confidence. If you're like me, before I needed glasses, back in the olden days when computers were this new thing, I had computer glasses. Every time I would wear these computer glasses, people thought I was smart. So I would start wearing glasses more often, and now that I am old, I need them. Because I wore them so much. Now I need them. But guess what's in my glasses? Confidence. You can put confidence into anything. Okay? You can transfer confidence from one thing to the next. So, for all you parents that might be, full disclosure, I'm not an O&M. Please talk to your O&M before actually doing this. But if your kid is confident with a stuffy and wants to learn how to be confident with a cane, you can hold two things at once. Talk to your O&M. I'm not an O&M.
Yeah, please do.
Please talk to the professionals. But you can transfer confidence like that. Okay? If it's not a stuffy and it's their favorite jacket, there are ways that you can transfer the confidence that they have already put into something to something else. You can teach them to anchor. You can teach them to anchor confidence, and they walk in with confidence to their lesson, and they go through the experience of false confidence, self-doubt, building trust, and unshakable confidence. This is how you do it. This is how you, as an adult, tap into confidence. You want a raise? I'm not suggesting you go out and be like, this crazy woman told me I should come here and ask for a raise. Tap into your confidence before you go, before you have those conversations. If you're avoiding a conversation with somebody that you know you need to have, 20 seconds of courage, tap into confidence. If there's something that you've always wanted to do in your life and everybody else told you, be reasonable. You have my permission to be unreasonable as long as that works for you. Tap into confidence and get started. Action. Right? Do we remember our 3 lessons? Courage is a decision. Confidence is built in the doing, and self-trust begins with keeping your word to yourself. All right, I've gone way off my slides. Tapping into confidence. What I just showed you is a shortcut to the motion of confidence, the belief of confidence. Because when you feel that feeling, you become confident. Even if it's an act to begin with. Right? They tell you, right? If I was to sit here and ask how you fall asleep, how do you fall asleep at night? You have to pretend to be asleep first. Right? You can't fall asleep by being awake.
Well, not for me in class.
You have to pretend to be asleep to fall asleep. This is the answer to everything. I have to pretend first. I mimic. Right? And then I do. I follow the pattern. I have false confidence, and then I have self-doubt. I then build the trust, and I then am confident. You can use this anytime. We've talked about this. Look, I'm already ahead of my slides. This is a QR code that will take you to my website where you can download this exercise. Okay? If you are old school and you don't have a little device that will take a picture and take you there, you can go to alignedselfmethod.com/NOAH. I'll bet you guys know how to spell that. And it will take you to the same place. This will give you a downloadable PDF that you can use to do this exercise 5 minutes from now, 5 days from now, 5 years from now. You can do this exercise as many times as you want. Okay? It is not unlimited confidence. It is the access to the confidence you already have to boost you through 20 seconds of courage to become more confident in what it is that you want to do. You don't need to feel ready. You just need 20 seconds. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions about how to access confidence?